Had a Moen bathtub shower system, stopped working. Went to give my son a bath last night. No water coming out whenever I turned the faucet. So I thought it was the cartridge, and it's the Moen 11222. It's the Posi-temp, so it's just the turn to turn on, and then keep turning to get to hot water. Not the pull system. Hot water's on the left, cold water's on the right. So I replaced this, and then still no water. But when I turn it on, hot water would dribble out. Just like almost like it's leaking. Not very much, but it's hot water. These systems need cold and hot water both to work. If one is clogged or one line is not working, you're not going to get water coming out. So if the hot water is not working, you're just going to get cold water dribbling out, like leaking out. If the cold's not working, hot water is just going to dribble out. So with the hot water not working, went and turned off the water inlet to the hot water heater, so no hot water would be coming out here. Cold water would still work. Came up here, remove the cartridge, nothing coming out, and there should be water pouring, spraying out. So what I did is I got some tubing that I have for just around the house, 1/4 inch tubing though if you need it. Don't need much of it. And then I got a syringe. Now granted, you could probably find some system if you don't mind the taste of vinegar. I'm sure you could push it through with your mouth alone. Pretty gross, but took the tubing. Cold water again is on the right. With one hand, I fed with the cartridge out. Fed the tubing in with one hand, pushed it in with the other until the tubing went in and eventually hits the elbow where it bends back down. I got about 6 inches in before it just stopped. And I just started to push with the syringe full of vinegar. Push it through just a little bit, let it sit there for a second, and then I noticed that the vinegar came back through and then went down the drain. Pushed a little bit more, waited a little bit, and then you can see it dribbling back out. But then I started to notice as about the fourth push of vinegar, noticed that more fluid was coming out than what vinegar I was pushed in, and therefore something started to break free. And then in a moment later, gave one more push, and the cold water just started flushing out, like pouring out. And again, it's pretty intense, so have a shower curtain ready. Only issue I had is that this was in there and it started spraying water everywhere. But ran downstairs, turned the cold water off, put the valve back in. Now, granted, I don't have everything set up, but it's now working. And no leaks. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that new cartridge in there since this one's been in there for who knows how long. Does look pretty nasty, and it was stuck trying to get out. So hopefully that helps, saves you a little bit of money and calling a plumber. But yeah, if you're not getting any, after replacing a cartridge, if you're not getting any water, or maybe you even have a cartridge that works, because I did try this and it does still work, but again, I will replace it. If you're not getting any water, or if you're only getting a little bit of dribbling of cold or dribbling of hot, like as I did, it's most likely whatever you're getting, the other one is clogged. And hopefully it's not too far down that you have to cut, replace all your pipe. Hopefully it's just right near the fitting. Now if you got a lot of that tubing, you'll probably fish it. It fed in pretty well. Probably smaller tube would fit even better, but I wanted to make sure that it was still thick enough wall that when I pull it back out, it's not going to get stuck in there. So again, 1/4 inch. And you see the wall there, wall depth 0.17 inch. And that's the thickness of the wall, so make sure it's actually got some stability to it so it doesn't get stuck, or trying to pull back out doesn't get snagged on something.